Okay, I just want to quickly show you the materials that I'll be using. So I'm going to start with some graphite. I'll do a couple of drawings with graphite. This is just ordinary graphite, easy to find. I've got a 4B and a 6B. I mean, even though they're 6B, they just don't get that dark, especially if you have a light touch. So that's one of the advantages of graphite. You have a lot of control. So it's great for doing homework exercises. Then I'm going to also draw with my buddy ballpoint pen. It's just ordinary Bic ballpoint pen. It's great. You can get a lot of miles. If you've never drawn with one, I would encourage you to try. Super fun, get a lot of mileage. You can get dark. It does take a bit of practice, but yeah, it's still a lot of fun to work with. And with experience, you'll be able to get those light, ghostly lines, which is great. And then finally, I'm going to draw on tone paper using colored pencil. And these are Prismacolor Very Thins. These are great. They have a lot of control and they can get dark. So I'm a big fan of these Very Thins for drawing. And to get my whites, I'll be using a white Carbonillo. And of course, trusty kneaded eraser to do all the erasing. But yeah, these will be for the tone paper drawings. Okay, now I just want to show you quickly the tone paper I'll be using. And this is actually a pre-bound sketchbook, a Strathmore tone gray. These are fairly easy to find. I got this at one of my local art stores, and I like this small size. They come in a few sizes, but I like this small size because it's portable. Yeah, little 5x8, very portable. And I'll just quickly flip through some of the drawings, and this is the paper itself. And you'll see the paper in detail when we do the exercise. And this paper takes watercolor, and it also takes drawing materials very well. So just a few examples here. And this is similar to what I'll be doing in the exercise. Prismacolor, colored pencil with white on top. Show you a few more examples. Yeah, I really enjoy this paper. This is my personal sketchbook. And I draw in these every day, and mostly because it's great paper and it's versatile, like you saw the watercolors. You can get a lot done. So that's my tone paper, Strathmore tone gray, and almost any tone paper will work, but I like this one because it's pre-bound in a sketchbook. So this will be the tone paper I'll be using.
Welcome to New Masters Academy, the best place to get art education online. Master the skills of drawing, painting, sculpture, illustration, and much more with the guidance from world-renowned artists. Embark on your creative journey today at nma.art.
So I'm going to start with placement. And I like this hair right away. Right away, I'm going to make the hair part of the story, I think. I don't know. She has such a fun, colorful expression. Feel very sunny. That's the word that comes to mind, sunny. So maybe this hair can be. I like that idea. Use this hair to tell this story. That's the first word that comes to mind. Sunny. Happy. So the first thing, once the placement feels good, and it feels pretty good, I want to leave a little bit of room for the shoulder. Now I got to get this up tilt. My God, you must hate me by now, giving you these up tilts. But whatever, it's, it's good for you. It's fun. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. Forgive me here. I want to get this. I want to put more attention to the shading. So I want to get this done. Get this very important step. Get that addressed. And some beautiful light and shadow here. I love the light and shadow. It's doing a lot of the work for me, actually, so I can be quite liberal with my marks, at least at this stage. So it's feeling pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to try to get through this quickly. I know, I always promise. I almost promise. You have to believe me. I'm like that politician. You got to believe me this time. I will make it in 20 minutes. That's okay if you go over a little bit too. You probably won't be talking. Again. And if you do this from life, you can actually do a lot of the work in between when the model breaks. I'm basically designing these shadow shapes, sort of outlining, sort of, not 100%, because I'm doing my own personal interpretation as I go. Again, that's the first step. Once your drawing is complete, once your drawing is set, and shading, you got to separate light and shadow. It's worth repeating 100 times. 101. Separate light and shadow, 102. Okay, good. I feel pretty good about this so far. Very happy the spacing worked out, to be honest with you. Kind of took a run and gun approach. Skipped a few steps, but that's okay. I can do that. I can do that because got a little bit of mileage, you know. This is so cool. So even though it's an upshot, I'm glad. Chose this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some liberties with the hair. And you can do that with hair. It doesn't have to be a, oh, that has to be a 29.6 degree angle. Whatever. You can embellish on the hair, have fun with it. And what I liberties, I mean the shape, because my idea is sun brightness. So I kind of want things to feel it's emanating from the center in a circular fashion. So what I'm going to do is, well, I'm ready to put down my marks, and I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this. Yeah, why not? You know, why not? Let's see. I'm going to have a little fun, and I may screw it up, but yeah. Yeah, F it, right? F it. Just go for it. Let's try. Okay, here we go. So I'm sure I'm running a little bit still on schedule, hopefully, because I'd like to get a few more minutes to refine in the time I have. That will make or break, I think, this experiment I'm going to do. I like these highlights here, so I'm going to see if I can play with those, use those in my story, use those in my drawing to tell the story or to just make it more interesting. Yeah, I can see a pattern of light here coming from the upper right, the series of highlights. And I think this will be a good natural eye to use, so hopefully I'll save myself some time. And again, roughing up. Anything away from the focal point, I'm going to rough it up, meaning just use rougher technique. It adds variation and it just looks cool. And it makes the areas that I will refine in the limited time that I have feel more polished. Shading trick, hopefully you're able to use that in your exercises. See that? Added a character that, oh, there it is again. Another character. Another antagonist or protagonist. I'm not sure, I gotta get my metaphors right. The villain, the not so friendly guy, not so friendly character. And I'm gonna switch. That's why I like sharpening on both ends like this. So the tone paper will give me the opportunity to add white, which we'll do last. That's going to be a lot of fun, probably my favorite part. At this stage, I'm just making sure the drawing looks decent. I think I've accomplished that. It looks okay. And I still got a little bit of time left. I didn't blabber too long on this one. This one went fairly well, even though it's an off shot. I'm going to add, oh, another character. The neck is a character now. Oh, gonna drag some tone into the drawing now. Oh, what's happening to the story? Oh no. What's happening? The main character, the vertical hatching, has met the maybe supporting actor, the crosshatch. Well, I don't know, I just want to make that edge look right. So I'm gonna wrap up this. So forgive me if I'm a little quiet here. I'm gonna try to get this done. Okay, now I kind of want this side plane, even though it's in that little underplane, the jaw there. I wanted that, and I want this egg effect. I should probably drop the tone now while I'm still searching mode. I'm still searching in a lot of ways for what's going to happen next with the light. Because the light, just like the shadow, or the shadow strokes anyway, I gotta decide which way. Will the lights be the highlights anyway? Will the lights be counter to our story, counter to our hero, meaning go in the opposite direction? Or should the lights be part of the heroic side of the story? I don't know. We'll see. I want this ear to sink back, so I'm going to kind of ghost some tone. See how it pushes it back? So that's a cool little glazing trick you can do. Just kind of glaze it back. Okay, now I'm ready for the lights. Let's see, so I'm gonna take a minute to see where the brightest highlight is on her cheek, but I don't have to. Leave it at that, but, and you know what, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make the lights its own character, meaning they'll take on a life of their own. Their direction won't be defined as of yet. So they could even be circular. Wow, can even be circular. That, see that? I just made that on the fly. Made that on the fly. How you like me now? Yeah, maybe the lights are circular. It kind of helps the idea that I had in mind of the sunny kind of emotion and mood. So let me play with this idea. I like that idea that the shadow is uniform, the lights are organic. Just play with it. If you're after more of that realism, you can still think and work in this way. what you would want to do is just soften and refine the edge as you go. You know me, I know this is just a quick exercise. Still works. Now I can soften that way. Soften this way. Now I'm going to punch in bright. So lift that off, and I'm pretty much done here actually with this little study. Just got to get some of these light planes to work. There's a fine balance between picking out or calling out light planes and, making the drawing feel cohesive and stay true to your original vision of what's important, the focal point. In this case, the eye, we're starting to lose that. There's a lot of attention here, but that's okay. The highlight is close enough. I can always come back and punch in that dark. Which I probably won't have time to do. I know I promised I'll get this done. This one done in time this time. That's what I love about tone paper. You can do a lot, and this Carbothello is quite powerful. Big fan of the Carbothello. And I'm just going to wrap it up a little bit here. What I'd like to do is get this nose plane to read, and I should be done. Now, there's a corner. There's not too much light hitting the corner, but I can emphasize that. There's a depression here. So highlights occur at corners, peaks, and valleys, where forms go in and when forms come out. Just bring out some of that form there, but we're pretty much done with this one here. I think it worked out well for a quick little study. I'd probably just keep refining if I had a little more time, if this was a longer drawing. I'd go back in with my darks now and punch in some darks. I think it's missing a little bit of the contrast. Punch in some darks, define this eye a little bit, really nail down this eye, and still want it to be the focal point. And I can do things like this. You ready? Boom, boom, boom. Go against basically adding a new character, which is Tiny Hatch. Hair. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this study. Hope you enjoyed this little exercise. I know I gave you a lot to work with in terms of the angle of the head. Well, that's all good practice. Getting that contrast to work and we'll be done here. You still need that little bit of contrast at the core shadow. And Yeah, I needed that contrast, especially on this side. One more pass, I promise. One more pass. I need more time, Batman. Okay. Rough it up, rough it up, rough it up, darken it up, and rough it up. Put some line there to make sure you look there. And one last pass, and done. Okay, so wait, one last touch, I promise. One last touch. And a little bit of contrast at the nose I was missing. Double check my contrast. The form won't turn correctly without the contrast. That's one of the tiny drawback. I don't really call it a drawback, but one of the things to keep in mind when you're drawing on tone paper is that you will have to consciously be more mindful of your darks because the paper already has a halftone on it. You have to be mindful of these darks. A little bit of contrast left, and I promise that'll be it. Contrast in the side plane of the nose there, it just wasn't reading strong enough. I kept it fairly conservative.